There we are.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to the Witty Entrepreneur. I am Jennifer Bassman, also known as the Witty Entrepreneur. I'm thrilled that you chose to be here with me today because I know in this vast, lovely world of the internet, you have a lot of choices, but you are choosing to be here, and I am honored. Thank you. Today is a special day. I have a guest with me, Karla, Docter. So everybody be on your best behavior because we have a guest in the house. Yes, see, she's keeping her eye on us. But I am super excited about this today. I am so thrilled because she's going to teach us how to find 10 extra hours in our day. Who couldn't use 10 extra hours in their day? I know I could. So just in case you haven't ever joined me before, this is your first time, you're just now finding me, welcome. I'm glad we found each other, but I am a small business burnout master. What does that mean? That means that I help other burned out small business owners work through their burnout and conquer their burnout so that they can run a business that fulfills them instead of, well, the opposite, which is actually draining them. I'm a certified Clifton Strengths coach. I really, really enjoy helping other people recognize their strengths and implement those strengths in their business so that they can lose their fears of failure and lose those feelings of overwhelm. And here we talk a lot about all the things that have to do with the burnout mindset, things that contribute to a burnout mindset and things that prevent a burnout mindset. And today we are more on the prevention side of things. I'm looking at my phone to make sure we actually went live and see. And this is something you're going to learn about me too, Karla, is that I never remember to turn the sound off on my phone. Yes, because I have my phone on to see the comments, and it's like a comedy shtick every week, I guess you could say. I cannot remember to turn the stinking volume down. Hey, Kim joined us. Hey, Kim, I'm glad you're here. Yay! But we're going to talk with Karla. She actually got done. She is fresh off an amazing masterclass where she was teaching people all about how to find 10 extra hours in their day. And when I heard Karla was doing this, I was like, I must learn from you, guru. I would love to find 10 extra hours in my week. I would love it. Did I say day earlier? I meant week. You're going to find 10 extra hours in your day. That would be like,
maybe.
I mean,
who knows?
Cosmic. But I would love to learn how to find 10 extra hours in my week, as I think many other people would. So Karla is gracing us with her presence to teach us all she knows. But Karla herself is also a coach, and I am dubbing her a productivity expert and potential finder. When I was reading your description on your website, and actually when we were talking the other day about doing this live, that's what popped in my head. I was like, Karla is a potential finder. So I dubbed thee a potential finder. I like it.
I need to write that down.
Yeah, it's all yours.
I mean, potential finder could be good or bad, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to let that pressure be yours.
Some unhealthy relationships. A lot of potential.
You have such potential. Oh, see, and here goes Herbie. Herbie also thinks he has potential to contribute. Herbie, don't embarrass me. Like he cares, right? But so back to you, Karla. Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how you got into coaching. Tell us how you figured out how to find 10 extra hours a week.
Oh, okay. Well, how much time?
Hey, Robert.
Are we like
we've got all day.
All day. Perfect.
All day.
Well,
yeah.
It's a good thing I have all of this coffee here.
Excellent. And I got a little Red Bull. I'll let you guys decide if there's vodka in that. So
yeah.
We'll
I don't know. There may or may not be Tito's in here, and it's 5:00 somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I told the public to bring their pants. I told Karla to bring a cocktail if she felt like it. So here we are. It's noon. It's noon here. It's noon where we are.
It's Tuesday. It could be Thursday, Tuesday.
Exactly. So tell us about you. Tell us what you do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. I just I just love you. I think that you are incredible, and I kind of have like a girl crush on you because you're doing like incredible things. And I just,
Thank you.
when we finally connected, it was like my long lost sister. Like, where have you been? Where have you been all my life? Yeah. So thank you for the opportunity.
I may or may not be crying right now.
I didn't bring tissues.
I'm just gonna use my shirt.
We
did totally connect. We've decided we are going to make plans to take over the world, and we got this. Yeah. We got this. I think you're pretty awesome too, lady.
World domination here.
Heck yeah.
What? So a little bit about me. I'm actually originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Like born and raised there. Cheesehead. I actually did. This is a secret, so don't tell anybody. Did some like cheesehead like modeling in college.
That's a thing. Cheesehead modeling is a college. Ooh,
I was on the cover of Foamation catalog. Which granted,
so what does that entail? You put a foam cheese hat on?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah. I think everybody would want to see this. I feel like I get in trouble for saying no.
I mean,
give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. Now, granted, the hat that I got to wear in the photo shoot was actually a cornhead hat. However, I got to represent my cheese.
I am digging it. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So,
back when I was a little girl, when I grew up, I wanted to be a fashion designer, a model, and an actress.
You know. I love it. And look at you now.
I feel like, what was that?
A cheesehead model. Look at you now.
Like I get to mark it off the bucket list because I was a cheesehead model.
You got it.
And yeah, so no, this is what happens when you want something and you talk about it. Opportunities present themselves. And so that's basically what happened. I was like on the bus, like from the park and ride to like get up to college. And I was talking to somebody next to me about how I had this dream when I was little or whatever about being a model. And he's like, well, my wife and I, she's a photographer and she owns blah, blah, blah. And, you know, would you want to do a photo shoot? I was like, sure. Now, granted, y'all, this was like
before that kind of stuff sounded creepy.
Yeah, before it was.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest, it may or may not have still gotten a little creepy, but you know, this was before like the internet was like a thing. Like this is back in like 2000.
Yeah.
When it was.
Sorry. It's funny.
And so yeah, I did it.
So then your modeling career catapulted you into saving people time or coaching.
Yeah. I mean,
see, look at that.
Launch. I was going to school for criminal justice, psychology, forensic science. I was going to be CSI before it was a popular TV show. My modeling career skyrocketed me into this other thing.
Gotcha.
Actually, so long story short, from the age of 15 to 25, that decade of time, I'd experienced a lot of obstacles, traumas, robbed and held at gunpoint, chased, in and out of abusive relationships, emotional, physical, sexual violence, stalking, all the things. So I'm happy that I like got it all over with, like got it all condensed into that time.
Into that decade. Okay.
Like I'm good now. See, like I served the rest of my life by just packing that all in.
Oh,
but through that, I started doing work, found my real, like my bigger, higher impact and passion is really to help empower women to prevent domestic and sexual violence. So like I started my business so that I could start sharing my story with people and let them know that they're not alone, that they don't have to go through life on this planet alone, that there are other people who have experienced things that are similar, and we don't have to be silent about it. We hold a lot of shame.
Yes.
And because of all of that, we hold ourselves back in so many different ways. And so initially when I started my coaching business was to, be on stages and speak about my experience and how I overcame all of these things. But I started working at a nonprofit, and I started at that nonprofit in a smaller, like entry-level management. I oversaw the sexual assault victim advocacy programs. And 10 years later, when I quote unquote retired from there, I oversaw that program, the forensics program, the prevention program. I wrote the federal grants, brought in $3.5 million through those, did the federal grant reports, agency outcomes measurements, statistics.
A lot of experience doing everything.
I was also then became like the development team and was going to all of the networking events and all the things, speaking on the news. Like I was the go-to person for all things sexual violence in our community. And because of that, I was everywhere all the time, right? And people would see me and I'm going to the gym and I'm doing this and I'm here with my friends. And so it came to a point where everybody's like, Karla, like, you're always like, you're everywhere. Like you're doing, like, how do you do all of the things? And, to be like really honest, like, I mean, it came down to the fact that like, it was a non-negotiable for me. Like it was not an option
to be productive.
Do things that served not just my inner joy, but made an impact for others. And so,
that's cool.
That was a huge part of it, that it's like not doing it was not an option. So I had to find out, like, how can I do it all, but like do it all with like grace and ease and not like half-assed, like I wanted to like keep it, still have good stuff out there. And it's like, look, y'all, you can do anything. You just can't do it all at once, right? There's like all of these different things. And when we talk about like diving into, how to find 10 extra hours in your day, that it comes down to you have to like take an assessment. You have to do a time tracker. And it's the funniest thing because my clients, like, they are so resistant to it. They're like,
I don't want to know how to spend my time.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I would really want to know how I spend every moment of my day, but I bet you find out some really interesting things about yourself. What's the most common thing you found out about your clients when they started tracking their time?
After we like busted through and like you're going to give me $1,000 if you don't do this phone tracker, right? Like after they were finally able to do it. But, what it came to was like, there's the busy work and, all of these other, millions of pieces to it. But at the core, what it came down to is that they were the thing.
They were getting in their own way.
It wasn't binge watching TV, which, yes, that's how it's showing up on their time tracker, that they're doing laundry halfway through the day because they don't want to send out that email, right? But it was looking at all of the things that they were avoiding, right? And it's like, okay, why are you avoiding it? And then diving really deep into that. So then it was like, how much time are you wasting here? I worked with one client and she was resisting this one task. The task in and of itself takes an hour a week, right?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of time. But she was so resistant to it. And she'd put it on Monday and then she'd move it over to Tuesday and then to Wednesday, right? So, I mean, even in and of itself, the act of like moving this task onto the next day, and then trying to go to bed at night knowing that you didn't do the thing that you know that you should do. Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
We all know we all know what we should be doing, right?
Yeah.
But we just don't do it. So I help people find out why they're not doing the thing that they know that they should be doing. And that's what comes from like my success tracker, that it's like, okay, these are the things that we've avoided, and then digging into the headspace of that. And
so not to interrupt, sorry. Why do you find people don't do stuff? Like, why do you find that they procrastinate these tasks?
So, like I was sharing before, talking about kind of like my trauma stuff, right? Like we all have something that we've gone through, and we all have fears that in our head they're trying to keep us safe, right? Like if we think about like our brains, like the reptilian brain, fear was a way to keep us safe from the saber-toothed tiger, right? Well, there's no saber-toothed tigers right now, but for whatever reason, crafting an email and sending it out to my email list terrifies me. Almost as if it's in that like fight or flight mode. So you're like, okay, I'm going to avoid doing this thing. So a lot of times it comes from not wanting to be seen, right? Like they don't really want to be seen. They have a fear of success. More so a fear of success than they do a fear of failure. Actually, it's like they know that they could be successful and, take on world domination, but they're afraid because when it gets that, then people are seeing you and they don't want to be judged. So like when it comes down to the core, and it's like, they don't want to be judged and they don't want somebody to say something bad about them because they're people pleasers and they want to make people happy and they don't want to say the wrong thing and they don't want to offend somebody. So it's like all of this like head gunk kind of like gets stacks on stacks on stacks. And then like fear of abandonment and like not like losing their family. Like if I have success, right? So when you think of like success, do you think of something awesome, something positive, or are you like, oh, success means sacrifice? And if I achieve this level of success, then that means I have to sacrifice spending quality time with my family and my kids. That means I have to sacrifice doing other things that I really like to do. But it doesn't have to be a sacrifice, but it's like how we think about even like what our end goals are, like that stuff then plays out. So then that's at the root of the reason why they're not sending that email out. It's not hard to type up an email and put it in the thing and hit go broadcast, or even doing like a Facebook Live. They're afraid of what other people are going to say. Are they going to say the wrong thing? Are they going to laugh at them? Are they going to be judged? Like, is my light going to fall on my head? Like, is my dog going to bark? Like, there's all of these things and perfectionism but like what that's coming out, it's like there's a larger root cause to that. And it's our head gunk that's getting in the way. And that's the thing that's holding us back from doing what it is that we want. So back to my client, was like long story longer. She was resisting doing this task that would take her 1 hour. And when we looked at her phone tracker and her schedule, she was spending 5 hours a week worrying, thinking, and procrastinating about stuff.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, what is 5 hours of your time worth? If you could,
that's a great question.
If you could charge $100 an hour for your time or more as a coach or consultant, right? Like $250. Like if you could be meeting with a client for 5 hours,
what
is that worth to you? Can you pay somebody
to do that
bucks to do that 1 hour task?
Yeah.
So that you then in turn can feel like energized and good and use your gifts for the things that you're good at. Because that's the thing with entrepreneurs, like oftentimes, like, yes, we figure out how to get stuff done. I'm capable of putting together my website. I'm capable of creating posts and all of those things. But it's like, do those things light you up? Because if they don't, then that's pulling on your energy for you to do the thing that you're really good at.
Yeah.
Talking to people, helping people, doing, whatever that is, writing, whatever. So it's helping people to discover that, and then like, what
Yeah.
can we get rid of? What can we hold on to? What can we delegate? What do we just need to eliminate off the list? Like, because they're doing busy work and not the things that are actually going to move the needle in their business.
Which is really interesting you say that. And Kim picked up on it too in the comments. She said procrastinating is paralyzing. And I'm a giant procrastinator, and I totally resonate with that statement, Kim. Procrastinating is paralyzing. And this conversation is actually really resonating with me too, because I'm asking myself that question. In fact, I've been asking myself that question since we talked last week of what am I resisting? What am I allowing to stay in my way so that I don't move forward? What am I so afraid of moving forward? So that's interesting that you say that that's part of where we can find that extra time in our schedule, is if we stop worrying about things we can't change, we stop worrying about things that we don't want to do, and just find either just get it done, like bite the bullet and get it done, or find somebody else that lights them up or makes them, that's their jam.
Yeah. You can get happy and resourceful too. Like if you have friends or family members who like love you or love your mission, like, I mean,
And a recent example of that for me too is in tech. Kim, it's like you're in my mind. Tech does not light me up, and I am not good at it. There are so many minute details that I just don't enjoy. And I just recently hired somebody to redo my website, and I had no idea. It is just, while you're saying this, like it's kind of resonant. I'm going, oh my God, I had no idea how much time I was spending on it. Number one, something that just wasn't going to come to fruition because it's not something I'm good at. And number two is worrying about it all the time. And now that I've hired it out, I feel freer. Yeah. So it's interesting that you're saying that. Sorry, I'm making this about me, but that totally resonates.
Well,
thanks for pointing that out for me.
Here's my little flashlight. So I was like, ooh, this is all fun. See, so now I still get to use my criminal justice and forensic science background. So I'm like, hey, y'all.
You're digging. You just dig.
Let's be a detective of our time and our schedule. Like, let's take that flashlight. We're going to shine a light on all of the blind spots that are holding us back, right? In the mindset stuff. But it's like, you said something and then you said another thing. And like, I had this like list of words, and it's like, do you identify, do you find yourself saying, I'm a procrastinator, I'm always late, I never get blah, blah, blah. I can't do tech stuff. I'm not confident. I can't do Facebook Lives, right? Like we have this list. We're choosing our identity. So like, here's the fun fact. It's like everything in our current reality is like created from thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And so there's so much power behind our thoughts that it's like everything in this universe was a thought first. My phone, right? This just didn't like poof appear. Like somebody thought about this piece of technology. These Sharpies, my giant coffee mug over here. It was all somebody's thought first before it became an actual physical reality. Well,
sure.
What happens in our minds is that when we identify and we say, I'm a procrastinator, I'm a perfectionist, I'm not techie, we're then projecting that into the universe to then like find me proof, right?
I feel so seen. That's true. I mean, you're right. I need to change that statement. I need to change that statement from I'm not a tech person to I would prefer to spend my time doing X, Y, and Z. So I will hire somebody out to do this work.
Yeah.
So that's true. That is very true.
And it's like, you're not a procrastinator. You are somebody who has procrastinated.
Yeah.
There's a difference in just that shift in thinking from going, I'm a procrastinator. No, you're not a procrastinator. You are a person who has procrastinated, but that doesn't make you who it is at your core, right? And so there's a difference.
I'm still a person that gets things done.
Right. When it's like, until we can shift the person doing the doing,
like,
everything else will fall into place that way, right? But it's like, I could tell you that you need to time block and plan tomorrow today and, do meal prep and have an incredible morning routine. And while, yes, all of those things are great, but until you make the shifts inside the person doing the things, that's when the real transformation will change. That's when doors start opening up, possibilities start happening, connections start being made, and your time feels better. There's more of it. Like time is like, it's finite, right? Like we all get the same 24 hours. Oprah, Beyonce, like, do you think that they call themselves procrastinators?
So basically what you're saying is, number one, I need to get handlers like rock stars and Oprah do. But the other thing you're saying is that part of where the resistance comes from is that we keep telling ourselves we don't have enough time to do these things. And so we need to shift our mindset, shift our way of thinking to, I have plenty of time. I've got more than enough time to get all of these things done, instead of cutting yourself off with, there's just not enough time. There's just no way I'm going to get this done.
Yeah. My mother instilled in me that, like, to show up, right? So like, that was like, I never called in sick to work. I was always there, but I was always late. I think it was called a hopeful optimist, where you think that you can get more things done in a given time frame than like you actually can. And so, I was always like 5 minutes late, and it didn't matter. I could wake up early and whatever, but then I was like, oh, I have extra time. I'm going to go do the dishes or something. And then I'm like, no, I'm late.
Yeah.
But I shifted my identity to be the type of person, right? So this is a good like journaling activity that you can do. I love doing this. And it's like, I am the type of person who shows up 15 minutes early for an appointment. I am the type of person who gets things done on time. I am the type of person who hires out for things that don't light me up in my business. I am the type of person who, right? And so like, just go through and like jot down all of the things that like you're aspiring to be, because that helps to shift the brain, right? Because there's like, we could shift our mindset and change your identity. Like, well, I want to be a millionaire. Okay. Well, you can't just like write down, I'm a millionaire, and then like actually believe it. So like, there's like little like tricks and tweaks that you can make that are like, I'm beginning to believe that it's possible to become a millionaire. Right. And so it's like this, I'm the type of person who helps shift that and change that from, I'm a procrastinator, but it's like, I'm the type of person who gets shiz done,
Yeah.
Like, those types of things. I'm the type of person who gets out of my own way. I'm the type of person who hires a coach or partners up and finds an accountability partner. I'm the type of person who does these things. When you think about somebody who has success in whatever aspect of your life that you're looking for, health, fitness, whatever, like, who are they embodying? What's important to them? Like, Are they the type of person who shows up 15 minutes late to teach their own class? Probably not. Okay, what are the things that I need
Right.
to kind of like embrace and step into my life? And it's these little tiny tweaks that can really make a long-lasting change.
I totally agree. And a lot of this is mindset work. It's one, being willing to change your mind, and two, being willing to do the work to change your mind. And that is something I've been investing a lot in lately, is my mindset, and changing it to, what is the phrase we were taught? Be, do, think. It's what we're originally taught is to think.
Have, do, be.
Yeah. So I'm going to totally get it wrong, but I'm trying to
say it wrong now.
Yeah. Don't quote us on any of this. Whoever's what, don't quote us on it. But I'm putting the B first, because if I feel like if I put the outline there, if I put the structure there, then the rest of it will follow. And it's a much different way of being as well. Instead of thinking about it, I mean, old me would think about it first, and then worry about it, and worry what other people would think about it. And then, maybe get around to actually being that person that does those things, maybe. But I'm putting the B first, and it's been such an amazing and positive mindset too.
Oh, yeah.
When I want to see the right, I want to focus on what's right with me and what's going well and what's going right, instead of constantly focusing on what I keep messing up on and what I can't do. And so it's interesting you called me out earlier too on my language, because clearly there's still some work to do over here, which is great. No, I'm glad you did, because I need to know that, know where there's room for improvement, where I need to keep working. And Veronique, thank you. She totally correct. It is be, do, have. So thank you, lady, for reminding us that.
Yes.
Which, by the way, with Veronique watching, that makes us international right now, because she's up in Canada. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and point that out. Thank you very much, Veronique. Woo! Getting some, that makes me giggle a little bit. But yes, I think we forget that in order to create that time, there isn't necessarily a magic formula, or I'm not going to show you how to make more hours in your day, like quite literally. It's that you have to change something about you and what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. You have to change the being, doing the doing.
Yes.
But it's like, initially when we were taught that, like, I have to have something before I could be that type of person. Like,
right.
To have $1 million in order to be a millionaire. Well, no, you have to change the way that you think first. When you change the person, then you start doing things differently, and then you have what it is that you want. And so Jim Fortin's a great resource for that. Love him.
Yes. I'm just discovering Jim, and you're right. Jim Fortin is an excellent resource for this kind of work. And I will say to your point, that a lot of what you're talking about is burnout work. Like, if you're going through burnout, if you've experienced burnout and you're trying to prevent going back there, what you're identifying a lot of, Karla, is a lot of the habits that get us into burnout. We're trying to do too much in too little time, instead of saying, okay, this is really what I'm capable of. There really is kind of a limit to my energy, but I have to recognize that this is a team experience, that there are other people out there that can help me create more time in my day if I just delegate, if I hire, if I, do just change the way I think about getting my work done.
Right. Well, and it's like, there's a pride thing, or like with the perfectionist, it's like, but they can't do it like I can. If they can do it like 70-80% as well as you, like, let them give somebody else the opportunity to grow, like, don't be all selfish and like hold that. Don't
be all selfish. Karla said, don't be selfish. Did you hear that?
Else's life. So like,
Did you?
oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna make a joke that I mean, did you hear that? All you selfish people that don't like to delegate, you're preventing somebody's success by not delegating. That's a, you know what? I like that. That's an easier way for me. I know that's a little bit negative and being a little hard on myself, but that is a better way to think about it. That I want to make people more successful. So why would I stand in somebody else's way?
Yeah.
Give them something to do.
Well, and it allows you to grow too, you know, and it's a leadership opportunity, it's a growth opportunity. You know, you get to learn what that looks like, because I don't know what percentage of your viewers are entrepreneurs, but I mean, like, that's eventually depending on what type of work you're in. But it's like, if you eventually are going to grow a team or anything like that, I mean, those are important skills of a leader, and that people look to somebody else for guidance. It was like, when I was at the nonprofit, I didn't, you know, get 14 different promotions to a different level by not getting to learn and grow and ask to be a part of different things. That it's like, we talk about burnout, right? So it's like, this was a big eye opener for me after the fact, but it was like, you know, talk about like burnout, like overworked, underpaid, undervalued, like a lot of people in the nonprofit world. And it's like, it kills me, because it's like, I know that there's a better way, right?
Yes.
And it's hard, because like, when I was down and I was in those unhealthy relationships, and I was told, you're fat, dumb, ugly, stupid, nobody will ever, you know, treat you as good as I treat you. And it's like, I internalize those as my truths, right? So this is another kind of spot too to look at, that it's like, what were some of the things that we were told growing up about ourselves? So I wasn't, you know, when I was out the womb, my mother never looked at me like, oh, you're an ugly alien baby. Like, you don't deserve anything in this world. Like, you deserve to be treated like crap. Like, no, like, you were born worthy. You're born beautiful. Like, but somehow in society and school or media, we get these messages that we're not enough. And a lot of kind of like, at the core of like all of this stuff comes back down to like, whether or not we believe that we're worthy of having the level of success that we aspire to. And so it's like, we have to kind of shine a light on what are some of these messages that we received at a very young age that we internalized as our truths, right? It was like, I was told that I was fat, dumb, and ugly. And what did I do? I started gaining weight. You know, like, and then after that unhealthy relationship, then after other trauma, then I tried to self-sabotage to make myself less attractive, because I thought if I was less attractive, then people might not want to assault me or come after me or chase me or stalk me, right? So it was like, unbeknownst to myself at that time, that I was like doing this self-sabotagey behavior to try to keep myself again safe, so that nobody else could hurt me. And then if I tell my story, right, like how vulnerable that is, that it's like, oh no, people are gonna like judge me. But here's the deal. If you can help one person in this world, like, you've done a good job. There are a lot of people in this world, and if we all just strived to just help one other person, so like by me sharing my story, like, yeah, there are probably going to be people who judge me and say negative things, but the messages that I received, that was like, man, Karla, like, your story was so powerful. I read your book, and oh my gosh, like, I can't believe we were friends back then and you were going through all of this. I had no idea, you know? And it's like the inspiration. And then they're like, you know what, this happened, that happened to me too. Or your stories inspired me to da 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 da. And it's like, yes, like, that's what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, my business isn't about me. It's about all of you. It's about helping other people. And so it's like doing the Facebook Live thing. It's like people are like, how do you do it? I'm like, it's not about me. I had to do
Yeah.
the news interviews. And it's like, it's not about me. It's about sharing this message. It's about ending violence. It's about empowering people. It's about helping people get their time back. It's about people being the badass business owners that they are. Like all of those things. Like it's not about us. It's not about you, boo. It's gonna be one of my apparel line when that comes out. That's
Yeah, it's not about you, boo.
It's not about you,
I like that. That is a great name for an apparel line. I like it. I like it a lot. You bring up a lot of great points in there. I guess one of my questions is that we don't want to be afraid, and I'll make this one of my last questions. But I think we make like you were saying earlier, that we are afraid of success. So one of the things that could possibly come up is, okay, I've made 10 extra hours in my week. I've found some extra time in my day. I have gotten out of my own way, Karla. And what do I do with this time? Or how do I not be fearful of this time? Is my question making some sense?
Yes. So it's like, now that I have all of this extra time, how do I make sure that like I'm doing the right things and I'm not
I don't screw it up again.
Other self-sabotagey thing, right? So it's like,
yeah.
I was doing this, and now instead of doing this unhealthy thing, now I've plugged it in with this, right?
Yeah. I didn't just switch from, like ice cream to cupcakes or something.
Wow. Oh, now I really want a cupcake.
Yeah,
I'm like, is it Friday?
Friday?
I mean, it's Tuesday. I can get a cupcake.
Close enough.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things is like, I have people do like at the beginning of the masterclass, it's like, what would you do with 10 extra hours? And I think when we first chatted, you're like, oh, I don't know if I don't know. And it's like, would you take a nap? Would you go on a vacation? Right? Because it's like, if we found like, if you guys wanted to watch the masterclass where we go through all the things, I'll tell you about that in a second, but it's like, when you map it out, that it's like, if we found one extra hour in your week, right? Bare minimum. I know that we can find more, but if you found one extra hour, that's almost 7 full business days. It's like 6.5 business days. Like you could take a 10-day like vacation, like weekend, right? Like
that's a great way to think about it.
So it's like, it doesn't have to be that you fill it in with something unhealthy, but it's like, what is the goal here? Like, why are we doing this? But like, also like getting really crystal clear on like what your purpose is. And if you have a lot of extra time, like, do you have a winning morning routine? Like, now it's time, I've quote unquote sacrificed quality time with my family, or you weren't sleeping, getting your like 7-8 hours of sleep at night, that it's like, how can you take the best care of yourself? Because that's another thing as entrepreneurs, like give, go, do. And it's like, oh, like, would I benefit from like doing some yoga or sitting and doing a meditation? Because it's like, if you're have a craving or a desire to take a 1 or 2 hour nap, it's like, well, technically you could do like a 5, 10, 15-minute meditation and feel more energized and clear and focused in this world without taking 2 hours.
Sure. Very true.
Condense it down. So it's like looking at kind of the whole person. So like I do like a lot of balance work. And so something I would suggest to everybody is look at, kind of the core areas. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 meaning you got nada, and 10 like I'm crushing it, right? On your physical health and fitness, on your mental health and well-being, on your relationships with family and friends, on romance, on finances, on your business, spirituality, right? I think those are kind of the major ones.
The big
And
categories.
yeah, rate yourself on that scale and then say, okay, which one of these things is the lowest? Oh, your environment, your physical environment. So it's like when I started my health and fitness journey back in 2015, I thought that the thing it was that I wanted was the health and fitness. But when I looked at my overall, my environment, I scored like a 3. I had clutter and mess, and like the clutter and the mess weighed down so much of my energy that like I couldn't go out. I couldn't pop out of bed. I couldn't do these different things because there was something else that was really weighing me down, right? There's always going to be something that we can work on improving. And it's like, what are some of the things that you've been wanting to do? Have you like want to just like have an hour a day to sit and read a book that doesn't have anything to do about business? Or maybe actually read a book about business. So it's like, how can you fill your cup back up? And it's like looking again, when you look at the identity of the person who has what it is that you want in life, how are they spending their time? What are they doing with it? I think that we're told that like as entrepreneurs, we have to work 50, 60 hours a week, but it's like, you're the boss.
You don't have to.
How many hours a week do you want to work?
Good question.
Right? Like that's another thing too. It's like you can keep yourself in that comfort zone if you don't want to scale and grow and you're cozy, and that's cool. And there's times and there's cycles, right? To be cozy. And then it's like the status quo isn't going to do it for you anymore. What's the next level? How can you take it up a notch? So those would be some things that I would suggest one look at.
These are all great tips. You've given us a lot to think about. Not that I'm trying to add anything to anybody else's day, but or take away from this extra time that you're finding in your schedule. But I think you've shared some really powerful, just mindset. I don't want to say tricks, because when you're doing mindset work, I don't think we want to trick ourselves. We really want to get to the root, and we want to make sustainable and lasting change, right? But you've given us really some food for thought in terms of how we think about time and how we think about how we spend our time. And this is getting at a lot of stuff that I've been spending my time on lately. And I'm so glad that we were able to do this today, because I'm just sitting here going, God, she's been in my head. Somebody has been in my head. Because it's that, where your energy, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And if we're just going to keep thinking that we're too busy or we're too, we aren't the type of person that would be organized, or, we aren't the type of person that would weigh less than we actually do. We're going to keep ourselves in those identities. And I think what you've pointed out today is just so incredible. And you touched on something at the very end, and I just noticed Kim made another comment about it too, is that clutter and mess weighs down energy. And this is totally another topic for another time that we do need to come back and address, because that is also on my mindset list of, I am a clutter bug. I really believe that hoarding and clutter is genetic. Because my mom is totally like that. There's piles, but I know where everything is, right? But no, thank you so much for today. So if somebody wants to go take your masterclass, which I know I want to go take your masterclass, how do we take your masterclass?
So it is available to watch until Thursday. And you just go to venturelifecoaching.com/masterclass and just plug in your info. And then in your inbox will be the link to watch all the goodness. I uploaded an audio version on the replay too, so that you can download and listen.
Cool.
Because we're active, right? So another thing is like, don't say I'm busy. Busy like has kind of like a negative, but it's like I'm very active.
You have been watching me. I hate it when people say, whenever you ask anybody how they're doing, they always answer, "Oh my God, I'm so busy." Are you really? Oh my, this is a total pet peeve of mine. Yeah. I hate that word.
They're like, oh, what does your day look like? I'm like, well, you know what? I've got a pretty active day today. So like it like feels better than it's like busy.
Busy. Yeah. Very true. Yeah. Very true. Okay, so we're going to go to Venture Life Society or Venture Life, yes.com and then /masterclass, and we will put that link up in on the post so that you can actually just click and go right to it. And I hope that you guys will all take advantage of that huge opportunity. That is so cool. And sign up for her mailing list as well, so that you know when these opportunities come around, especially if what she's saying resonates with you. I think it's super important, to find the people orbiting your world that speak to you and help keep you aligned and help keep you going down that path that you want to go down. So, not to sound too woo-woo, but I do think that that's important. I get a little weirded out by sounding woo-woo.
It's science.
It's all science, which cracks me up, because in the Strengths Finder, Clifton Strengths world, I am a number 8 woo. There is a strength that is woo.
Number 10.
Yeah. See, she's a number 10 woo. But we're just excited people. It means a little something different, but we are still woo.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Karla, you're going to come back sometime soon so that we can continue our path towards world domination and get people to stop saying that they are so stinking busy.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
You are a person who has procrastinated, but no more.
I am a person that has procrastinated. Yes.
Set the intention that we're going to identify these things and make a list of it. Keep a little thought journal with you, or a note section on your phone. I actually have a Trello board, and
that's a good idea.
I have a Trello board for like my life, but I have like a section started that's like, what are some of my limiting beliefs that I catch myself, and I'm like,
yeah,
well, that's not true. Okay, this is then to work on, because like this is baby steps, y'all. Like you're not gonna like bippity boppity boo and then all of a sudden everything's like all of your worries have gone away and all of your fears and now you're confident and whatever. But it is possible. But the first step is actually recognizing those things and
then making a journal with clean thoughts. Gotcha.
Start and then rewrite them. That was the other thing, that it's like, we say, I can't too much. Anytime you write down, like, I can't do this. I can't deal. I can't do tech. I can't keep my house organized. I can't.
Yeah.
And then cross that can't.
Cross it off.
And right at the top, won't.
You heard it from the cheesehead model yourself, folks. Cross the word can't off your list.
You want to be a model?
Awesome. That's so awesome. I'm so glad I learned that about you today. That makes my day. This actually makes my entire week, and it's only Tuesday.
Go Packers.
Yay!
That makes me feel very awesome. Before, like, I would only like tell people in very intimate settings, but now it's like,
I'm honored. I am honored, and I'm sure all those watching are as well. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for letting that go in front of us. We appreciate it.
Well, I've challenged myself to do something uncomfortable every single day. So,
wow. There you go. Mark one off your list for today.
Put off. #vulnerable.
Love it. Thank you again. I love it. I love it. I love it. And by all means, everybody watch Karla's masterclass. We will put the link up on the post So you can go find it. That is so exciting.
And
also, just so you know, by the way, you need to go back to the comments on the post, Miss Karla, because I think Veronique has posted some awesome comments and questions too that I think deserve some feedback. So
love it. Awesome.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
So much fun.
Ooh, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
And thank you everybody for joining us. On Thursday, we have Leslie Boyd joining us. She is going to show us how to crush our goals. I'm excited about that as well. And I'm just over the moon grateful that everybody is taking this time to share their wisdom with us. So this is super cool. Thank you. And thank you to everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.